The ones who are awakened and are really focused on embodying the soul purpose driven divine self are the ones who will not hold you back. They will encourage you, support you to seek your soul. You are reaching a point where you're able to distinguish, you're discerning the difference between these people around you, environments around you, right? You might be changing swiftly, like moving through different environments, but there's a part of you that you begin to recognize what it means to be the embodiment of your divine self, making the right decisions that are right to your divine alignment, okay? And you will have pulls on your temptation. And it could be the smallest things, it could be other people, but also your internal energy. So little temptations to things that are pulling you, and you can feel that it's pulling you away from your alignment. 144 could be important for this. It's going to come through, and these are going to be the little tests, if you will, as you reach your next level, spiraling up. But the most important thing here is the ones who are inspiring you, but also who you yourself feel like that person that you're embodying, that being that is already you in existence, right? You're just learning how to peel away the layers of self, is also someone who you inspire to be, you inspire others. You know, I'm seeing angel wings, Empress in reverse. Okay, so it's kind of it's going to be about embodying that healthy feminine, not the wounded. And I also think this is about wounded feminine energies outside of you. So being mindful of justice, being mindful of who and what you are connecting with out of your depth, it says on this particular card, Knight of Swords. So sometimes things can happen so fast, so much information, there's just so much coming through that you just feel like it's completely out of your depth, right? It feels like there's a lack of feminine power. You're not connected to the divine feminine. You're even outside of you, you know, you hear all this information and it just feels like it's completely, I'm not going to say going over your head, but it feels as though it's just, you're not absorbing it. You know, there's a difference between learning something and really embodying it. Okay, this justice is literally you coming into your that divine feminine now, away from the wounded within you. So it's all about that inner yin and yang that I talk about. Okay, let's see. I was just going to say 3 could be important, right? 111 specifically, but this is a 3 of coins, so that's kind of confirmation actually. So that could be an important number for you. I often connect that with this energy actually. So yeah, and you know, divine feminine is about collaboration, unity, coming together. You know, I'm seeing just this energy of everyone's strengths, you know, being amplified together, the world. So actually I feel like you're learning how to be, I'm hearing better communication skills, and also just better at harmony, creating harmony with others. It's almost like you've been, you know, I said you've been peeling back those layers, you've been peeling them back in such a way that when before, once upon a time, you were triggered to be reactive, you'll begin to recognize that more. You're not as reactive anymore, right? Or you're going to be reaching that point. So you're going to be able to kind of step back and observe yourself, right? So before I think your emotion was out of your depth. You know, you felt emotional overwhelm, okay, when it came to that. But this is where you've been learning a lot. Don't forget this, the world is a complete learning cycle, truly. I think you've learned how to not just be, maybe, you know, you did have those energies of competition, jealousy, you know, envious energy, whatever, around you or maybe within you. But this is what's clearing. You're really coming into harmony. You're recognizing, hold on, who you are and what you are, what you're going to be. These are the lessons you're taking forward. This is massive karmic cycle that's clearing through. I think this is a karmic cycle from lifetimes. Don't forget, karma spans lifetimes. 8 of Coins. Dedicating yourself to, okay, there's way too many cards here, so didn't realize there's that many. The 8 of Coins was the one that was upright though, so okay, maybe you truly are honing in on your abundance path actually as well, which is what's going to require that feminine. So not the, you know, in a world dominated with doing things in a very masculine way, which in itself can be so beautiful, but it's not in harmony with that feminine. If you just over, like the seesaw, it's too much on this side. It's like finding that balance, and you're learning how to not be so like grind, hustle, you know, where you just felt like you were constantly out of your depth, your cycles, you weren't cycling with your cycles, you know, emotion, energy, etc. Okay, so, okay, the Magician. Oh, Nine of Cups. Oh my God, the Three of Wands. And the Fool. You're being prepared right now. You're being prepared for a whole new journey. And you're working up towards it right now. I'm not sure you realize. This is literally like before your manifestations, if you want to call it that, come through, you know. I think you had to learn how to be the person to hold the manifestations. The Three of Wands is truly is seeing behind like the horizon. You know, you're seeing the horizon, you're seeing there's more that would once upon a time you feel like you're out of your depth, you have to swim there, you know, and it's like it's too deep. But this time you're seeing it and you're like, it's like there's gonna be this uplifting energy, you know. Why? Because you've been working hard, dedication to your craft. The Eight of Coins, a grinder. You're learning how to manage, I suppose, but manage yourself, you know, that inner balance I was talking about. So it's like knowing when, don't forget the feminine energy, she knows when to rest, to surrender, to slow down, to come into receivership as well, right? Not just constantly go, and you're never leaving room for anything to come through in such a way, right? Balance, the Fool. Oh my God, the Eight of Wands. Oh my God, the Ten of Cups. Ew, that's like a lot of fast incoming Nine of Cups wishes wanting to come your way. You are being prepared right now. You're learning how to. I think that you're going to have people around you. This is why it's kind of like you're learning how to communicate and collaborate healthily, without thinking like, you know, maybe yeah, your worth, but also kind of seeing comparison without the comparison. Thief of Joy, right? That's what they say. So yeah, that's beautiful. That's like you've got manifest written twice here. So there's definitely something I don't really use that word so much, but there's definitely something that you really focus on the world. So clearly, whatever that was preventing you, blocking you from really bringing this beautiful energy into fruition, and it could very well be you too with your abundance path. You're working on it. You're working on it. Dedication. Oh my God. Okay, so this is the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Empress in reverse as well. So there's definitely something in your heart space that's held you back. And I think maybe, you know, and this says unrequited lover as well. So maybe it genuinely is that you just didn't receive that healthy energy back. Not necessarily just romantic connections, any kind of connections where, you know, there's a loving exchange. You didn't have that. And that's why it blocked your own heart. It blocks your own energy to give and feel held and seen and supported and together, you know, that energy where you just flow with each other. There's togetherness. You haven't had that. I think you've had the opposite in terms of what you've experienced. But this is where you're shifting the energy. See, that's your power you get to have. So that feeling out of your depths, you're calling it back. You're calling it back. You're no longer feeling in conflict mode internally and externally. You're no longer calling in the misalignments. You're recognizing, hold on, if you feel so out of your depth, take a moment, breathe, step back, regain your energy, reclaim your power. And you're doing it in a healthy way, not in a way that feels like, I just feel like this energy where it's just like, feels forced, or just like you have to constantly be on guard. It's like, no, you're releasing that. You're understanding. This is why the environments was coming through, because you're understanding who and what is serving different purposes for you, including in your external environment. You're not going to feel out of your depth where you're going. There's going to be people who are, you know, maybe there's been people who you've looked up to, but these, where you got walking away, literally, Eight of Cups, where you're going, these are going to be people that feel like they're way more in alignment with you because they're meant to be on your path. You needed to release this energy where I think that you just weren't getting that reciprocation, you know, that support. Like I said, the very first message that came through for a reason. They want you to seek your soul. They want to support you because they're on that alignment too. Not the ones who constantly make you fight yourself, you know, your truth, your heart's passions, that kind of thing. Ugh. Okay, so be mindful when you are coming together with other people that you aren't being led by unhealthy energies and creating unhealthy situations, right? I'm hearing like business and pleasure, so it's kind of like have boundaries, healthy boundaries in place, especially when you have those temptation pulls, because that's going to be a big thing here. It's coming through for a reason. Ooh, Ace of Coins, new beginnings. You have got new beginnings, but you're just going to, how they go is going to be dependent on the choices you make. So be very mindful when it comes to your temptations, because sometimes they can be so hard to miss it just easily bypasses you, because sometimes it is the smallest thing, like, oh, feeling tempted to just have that little something or whatever, and it's like, you know, can become a downward spiral, and you don't even realize. So it feels like whatever this path is that you're opening up, you've been learning something. There's been something that you've been learning. Maybe you've been watching some things, whatever it is. The knowledge you've been gaining, the information that's really allowing you to see things from a new perspective. It's like your whole, you know, your clarity of thought and your mind processing, your mindset has shifted. You've really been dedicating yourself to this. So this is very intentional for you. And with this Ace of Coins here, it says a new beginning. There's a reason. You see the reason. You see the... It's like I said at the beginning, there's something more about purpose drive for you now than there has been before. Which is why it's like being mindful about who and what is in your environment. Like that sun, the radiant energy, you're learning your radiant energy, okay? So the World did come out, and so did the Ten of Cups. I'm sorry, Ten of Wands. And they're both like this, okay? So what I'm going to say here is, this is why you're in that energy, that Magician in reverse, because actually... And this is why I said that, because whatever happens moving forwards is going to depend on your choices now, okay? So if you want to end this Ten of Wands energy, this heavy load, this baggage, this carrying the constant whatever forward, preventing you from liberating yourself and your energy and finding flight in your freedom, right? Which is the alignment with your soul purpose, that divine self that was coming through heavy for you. You're going to have to end a chapter and no longer hold on to it, hang on to it, wait for answers or whatever it is. It's time for you to say, no, wait, I can see where I'm going. I can see where I've been guided to be all this time. That's where my happiness is. That's where my dreams will be coming into fruition. But you need to let go of this version, this unrequited love version, this version that was blocking your divine feminine energy from flowing. Truly, you know, your creativity, your playfulness, your heart-centered approach that you truly have, because you were feeling so constrained and out of your depth because everything around you was not in your alignment. This is where things are changing, and when that temptation comes, those temptations, be mindful. Okay, all right, so we've got two. Okay, High Priestess as well, and the two. Okay, so this is gonna, again, I cannot emphasize enough, the choices that you make moving forward are going to be a big deal, right? And you need to understand when to not become so like hyper independent or closed off, because actually there's going to be a need to delve into yourself. Yes, your subconscious mind to connect to yourself, but also not in... I can see that there's going to be, like I keep saying, there's an environment around you, there's going to be community, and you're going to have to create a space of trust within yourself and for them in order for this to really begin to be I'm just seeing something really, there's fulfillment here. You know, this fulfillment, and it's your own subconscious mind that you need to master, you know, which is a journey, a whole process, a lifelong really, but to really recognize, hold on, that's what I want to create. Those are the wishes that I see at my table, and I want to sit there and say, yes, this is my accumulated abundance because of your alignment that you're finding, right? And there's going to be a need to kind of recognize your priorities. Something about your priorities is massive. Do not hold it all in. Do not be all like silence and secrets and guarding. That's not what you're going to need here. Like I said, there's a reason that it was coming through about collaboration and communication. You're going to need to be honest and transparent, which means learning to get friendly with your vulnerabilities. Okay. Vulnerabilities. Okay. Okay. So you really, what you thought you wanted in the past just didn't go that way, and it actually just felt like you were alone and maybe abandoned. Maybe you do have abandonment wounds, right? Okay. I think maybe you've got something to do with the father energy. You've got the Sun did come out, got King of Coins and King of Swords. Okay, so you definitely had somebody who's being guarded, emotion, like the masculine energy in your life, who's been very guarded. Could be a father. Not emotionally available, very my way, has to be this, not even just in my way, it has to be a certain, things have to be a certain way, you know, this huge emphasis on obeying authority, or just really dictator energy is what I'm getting from this, okay? And it blocked this, your sun, your radiant energy, and this is the thing that is blocking you from moving. It's still within you. This King of Coins, oh my God, this is a beautiful masculine energy, ultimate provider, dependable, trusting. They want to support you and be there for you. You know, that energy, I don't think you had that, but this is what you need to start trusting exists. Yeah. Again, it's not just about love, it's about generally trusting in even your abundance path moving forwards. Let's get another one, just to get some clarity for these. Oh, oh my God. Wow. Okay, so you've got the 8 of Wands and then you've got the 4 of Wands as well. So that really is, again, the right alignment, the right people around you, judgment. That's your judgment call right now. Okay, so it's about recognizing who and what is around you versus who and what you are within. Okay, this is why this slowing down energy is needed. You need to not get into your guarded energy, so it's so important for you. And also that way of I think there's something about not blocking other people's radiance as well. You know, just because it doesn't look a certain way or follow certain rules, it's not about that. This is actually about freedom from that, freedom from the restrictions that kind of energy can bring through. Let's just get a few of these and then see what else you need to be aware of. Okay, that's beautiful. That 4 of Wands says celebrating union, so that to me feels like really securing firm foundation, you know, within you, and it's going to be reflected outside of you. The Lily, exactly. This is an established energy. It's massively to do with your career, your achievement, your longevity, your maturing, your ambition. God, you know, you're becoming way more experienced. There's virtue here as well. So there really is that energy of coming into wholeness within you. Look at the broom, because you're removing that energy that was blocking you, blocking the divine feminine flow. Truly, you already are going to be mastering shifting that energy, but you're going to need to be intentional with it. Yeah, keep on top of it. It's beautiful. Allow yourself to slow down and not, you know, watch when your guards are coming up. Watch when you're falling into that wounded masculine as well within you, okay? And outside of you, magnet, there's longing. This is what I meant by the temptations. Be very mindful, because this is the one thing that might pull you away from that established longevity, achievement, you know, because of the temptations, the seduction, the yearning, the field of influence. Like I said, be careful when you come together with other people. What's driving the connection? Is it an unhealthy attachment, or that's of the past? To test, because you know temptations come through, they do. How are you going to handle it? That's what makes all the difference. Okay, all right, ball and chain. Yeah, this is literally addictions, restrictions, everything we're saying. We've got 30, 32 and 35. Stuck, way down, restrictions, addictions, heavy burdens, baggage, codependency, trap, difficult relationship. This is to do with that magnet, so be mindful, because this is what you've been healing from, and you are coming out of it very freshly, whoever this is, it feels like. Okay, that divine timing, diamond ring, chandelier, you got something beautiful that you could really create, but you just got to release this void filling behaviors and mindsets, you know, the void filling, because you don't have that feeling with that 5 of coins, remember, feeling abandoned, rejected, alone. So you find the temptations to fulfill the need, and it's like no, not. This is what you've been healing through. Look at that beautiful dog energy. These are the supportive people around you, the loyal, faithful people, who the ones who want you to seek your soul, you know, the ones who help you to see clarity. And maybe, you know, you are going to somebody, you know, it says doctor, nurse as well, but genuinely somebody who could be helping you as well with this. Okay, let's just see what else. Dominoes. Yeah, be strategic with where you're going now, moving forwards. Precise. You're setting things into motion right now. There is going to be progress. So hold faith in that. It's just going to be about, like I say, your choices, seeing things clearly, choosing to see things past the uncertainty and the initial trigger. Okay. 16. Divine intervention. It's a double rainbow. There's ascension. This is it's going to allow you to, you know how I said, that awakened self for a reason. This is what's helping you to get there, okay? Promises kept, as above, so below. So maybe you thought that this chapter was going to turn out very different to how it's begun. It can still turn out like that. Just got to hold faith. Look at that. Oh, your heart space. 24. Love, desire, joy, bliss, affection, fulfillment, kindness, forgiveness. Forgiving yourself. Forgiving whatever happened in the past, so you can finally release it and move on. It's about you. It's in your heart space. What's holding you there still, okay? Romance, passion, caring, contentment, feeling content. Look at that. Process of arrival, baby steps, okay? Yeah, crossroads. There's a road here. Oh my God, there's a car and a road. So maybe generally you are going to be on the road, like a road trip or something. 22 and 32, okay? 32's come out twice, actually, so... you're going to have choices to make, weighing the options. Your free will is going to determine like your independent energy and your opportunities that are coming ahead, the decisions you're going to make. There's going to be this feeling of the pressure's on. You've got goals, taking risks, determined action, bold, speed, get it going. But come back to your truth now, your heart space, okay? Turn the Empress upright. You've got this, okay? Remove the veils of that illusion, the shadow. Yeah, you've got this. Sending love.